finally spoke to my father after a staggering 15 years of no contact. Growing up, my parents divorced when I was very young. My father, despite his struggle with alcoholism, was actually kind and protective, giving me a sense of freedom. On the other hand, my mother, a narcissistic abuser, neglected me emotionally. Lately, more and more memories from my childhood have been resurfacing. It wasn't until I turned 30 this year that I discovered the reason why I don't have many memories of my father. He had been in a clinic receiving treatment for his alcoholism, severe anxiety, and depression. Despite his illness, he still provided me with an allowance, trying his best to take care of me. My mother, who did not give me any allowance, falsely claimed that my father only gave me money to buy my love. When I was 7 years old and my appendix burst, I found myself alone at home in excruciating pain. I repeatedly called my mother's workplace until she finally responded after the fifth call. It was a deeply distressing experience for me. After my mother remarried, she fought for sole custody and manipulated me into telling the judge and other authorities that I wanted to move to another country with her and my stepfather. I ended up sobbing in front of the lawyers and social workers when I was just 13 or 14 years old. Eventually, we did move away to another country, and I lost the means to contact my father. My mother portrayed him as an abusive person who had harmed her and my half-brothers. However, I have come to doubt her claims. Over 15 years passed, and I received a message on Facebook from someone claiming to be my father's caretaker. After years of therapy and thinking about my father every day, I mustered the courage to reply. I learned that my father is now clean and receives a pension. According to his caretaker, he has missed me greatly. I'm overwhelmed with conflicting emotions about the situation. Then came the video call with my father, who is visibly aged. It was an awkward and stressful conversation. I'm a wreck, unable to cry. We talked briefly, and he shared that he tried to take care of me, but his illness prevented him from doing so. I suspect I never visited him in the hospital during my childhood due to my mother's influence. He revealed that he had kept many of my belongings. I haven't told my mother, stepfather, or half-brothers about reconnecting with my father. I don't know how to bring up the fact that I'm not doing well, both physically and emotionally. I carry a tumor that, while not cancerous, poses a substantial threat. Furthermore, due to my family situation, I have developed CPTSD. Despite everything, I don't believe my father was abusive. My memories of him are positive. He was never angry with me, and we used to have fun together doing dishes or homework. He taught me how to swim and protected me when I almost drowned. In contrast, whenever someone else helped me with homework, I faced constant criticism and yelling from my mother. She stopped picking me up from school as soon as she could and never bothered to understand my interests, whereas my father always remembered that I wanted to be an artist since I was very young. I feel guilty about losing contact with my father. I was just a scared child, afraid of the consequences. I remember crying for him when I was alone with my mother, even at the age of 6. Her anger towards me for this only intensified, although I was simply expressing my longing. I wish my father hadn't succumbed to alcoholism. I wish I had been able to live with him. Forgiving my mother seems like an insurmountable challenge. She was a terrible mother, claiming to love me while treating me so poorly. I needed to share this burden. I plan to speak with my father tomorrow, and despite the strong emotions, the conversation will undoubtedly be incredibly awkward. I don't know what to say, but I know that the little girl inside me yearned for this reunion. Life can be unbelievably unfair.